Yeah, to me, Coach Walker, the handling games is a lot harder than sorting out and picking up blitzes.
No
Uh,
question.
and the reason that is, in my opinion, is because you're asking for the offensive lineman, right? Offensive linemen love to communicate, right? So we all have our line of scrimmage calls, our pointing the safeties, all that stuff, right? But now the ball snapped, and now we're having to exchange. Me, the guard and the tackle, we're having to bump stuff off, right? We're having to communicate post snap.
Right.
So we here at Oregon, we practice stunts every day. So every day, no matter what, one of our daily drills is we'll go 1 versus 2 bump drill, we call it, where it's I'm a guard and I've got a 3 technique and a 5 technique, and I'm working TEs. Okay, I'm the tackle. I'm working 1 versus 2 bump. I'm the tackle. I got a 3 technique and a 5 technique coming up the field. I'm setting vertical with my hand on the 3, my eyes on the 5, right? And then from there we go to a 2 versus 2 bump drill. So now the guard and the tackle are working together. The center and the guard are working together. The interior 3 are working together. So we do that, Coach, more than we do sorting out blitzes, because to me that's harder to handle, in my opinion. But again, like Y says, it's all of it. It's down in distance. What's the front? Okay. If you get 2-3 techniques, we call that a split front. Some guys call it even front, whatever. But you got 2-3 techniques. With that defensive front comes a personality. So if you ask the kids at Oregon, when you get 2-3 techniques, what are you expecting? They'll all start yelling. Our center will come up here, go split, split, split. They'll all start yelling games, games, games. Just to give yourself an alert to that. And with that, it kind of changes our sets. You know what I'm saying, Coach? So kind of like piggybacking off what Coach Y says, but we do drill it. We do drill it. And then with Coach Cristobal and our D-line coach, Coach Salavea, we'll do every Tuesday we have a 5-on-4 pass rush drill that we do, where it's 5-on-4, and it allows you for the D lineman to work versus a sort, and the other guys are working the man side. So we'll do that 5-on-4, and then the next day we'll do 1-on-1 pass rush, but 1-on-1 pass rush, and we'll immediately go to 2-versus-2 rush drill. So we work the hell out of it. You know what I'm saying? And Coach, our job as offensive line coaches, and Coach Weiss will tell you, and Frank will tell you as well, is, I'm trying to eliminate one-on-one blocks. I'm trying to eliminate one-on-one situations in pass rush as much as humanly possible. So I want to try to, and this is going to sound fucked up and crazy, but I want to block you 2-versus-2, not 1-versus-1. Okay. I want to block you 2-versus-2, not 1-versus-1. So we're trying to eliminate one-on-one blocks as much as possible. If I was a D-line coach, I'd freaking get into I'd cover all 5 guys up and find the weak guy and put my best guy on the weak guy and go to work,
Yes. Yes.
I mean, that's what I would do, Coach. All day. I would do that all day long,
Yes.
and that's when, as an old line coach, you got your nuts in your throat, especially if they take a defensive end and they put the defensive end over your center, and now you're like, holy shit, but we as offensive line coaches, at least maybe I'm talking out of line, but we're trying to eliminate the one-on-one pass rush situation.
Yep.
We're trying to, eliminate as much as possible, so that's kind of what we're doing. Frank.
Can I say something there, Coach Walker?
Go ahead.
That was like the best thing I've heard in the last month. Me and Ron talk about this often. It's isolating offensive linemen. Isolate the offensive lineman. If you can get the one-on-one, that is the biggest thing ever. Get the one-on-one. Find the weak link that is in that 5, and try to expose him with the one-on-one. Get your best interior guy on him if it's a guard, or if it's the tackle, get your best rusher on him. And get that one-on-one. That is the key to everything. And then I would like to say something, too, about the games. I think a lot of times what happens, too, is, and Rob could probably allude to this, too, is that guys are so in a rush to run their games. Really, as a defensive lineman, I'm trying to get one guy free. If I can get 2 guys in the game free, then that's great. But let's take your traditional, like the one offensive line coach said, your TE game. That is the most dangerous, absolutely. That's the most dangerous. But your ET, your in tackle game, could be just as effective. But I think what happens a lot of times is guys get in a rush with it. I know as a defensive tackle, whenever we would run, like a game where I know I was running an ET, I'm just not going to just, because a lot of times guys want to stand in front of them, shake, and do all these things. I'm actually taking a step down. And when I take that step down, it's going to look just like my fastball if I was taking the inside move. If I know I'm a head up or I'm in two eye or whatever it is, I'm going to disrupt him by really taking that hard step inside. And then as I'm taking that hard step inside, I'm reaching out. Say I'm on the left side. I'm reaching out with my left hand, trying to actually just tug him a little bit to turn in. I'm drawing him as much as I can, especially if I know I have a speedy defensive end that can get inside and get inside that space before I go out. I want to draw that guard as much as possible. But I think what happens a lot of times is guys get in a rush to run the game instead of doing it effective. And that's when you can really get those offensive linemen mixed up at times.